First, though, Arkansas's governor announces plans to adopt the new CDC COVID-19 guidelines, shaving off 4 days of quarantine. Thanks for joining us tonight for your 5 News at 6. I'm Erica Thomas.
And I'm Darren Bobb. The news comes as daily cases trend upward in Arkansas. 5 News reporter Juliana Clipson joining us live with more on this. Juliana?
Yeah, Darren and Erica, the governor says he hopes that these lightened guidelines will help more people comply with them. And then the Arkansas Secretary of Education says he hopes the new guidelines will help keep classes in session across Arkansas.
There is still time to slow this spread, but we must do our share. This is a public responsibility. This is not the responsibility of a single person or a single organization.
As the numbers rise at a record rate across Arkansas, the governor and health experts continue to stress personal responsibility. One of those responsibilities being correctly isolating after exposure. The safest way to quarantine would still be the full 14 days, but the CDC says a person can now isolate for 10 days with no symptoms. And in addition, a person can stop quarantining after 7 days and a negative PCR test result.
After the initial 7 days, there's a much lower percent chance, a very small percent chance of becoming positive.
The governor says he hopes the new lightened guidelines will lead to more compliance statewide. State Education Secretary Johnny Key also says he hopes this will help keep an adequate amount of staff in the classrooms since there's been a substitute shortage in many districts recently.
When you look at our data and the reasons that schools have had to pivot to virtual learning, it has primarily been because of the number of quarantined individuals, whether they be staff, faculty, or students. It's because of the numbers of quarantines and then the lack of sufficient substitutes.
The governor says these guidelines are still being fine-tuned for long-term care facilities as well as correctional facilities due to their unique environments. Live in Johnson, covering news where you live, Juliana Clipson, 5 News.
All right, Juliana, thanks. As the daily case count continues to rise, the governor also announcing he requested through FEMA 10 hospital beds in the Veterans Hospital in Little Rock to expand the hospital capacity in the state.